Hello and welcome to the Groundbreaker podcast series. My name is Awar and joining me today is Amanda Armstrong. Today we are delving into the impact career sector. Did I say that right?
Yes, perfect.
Impactful career sector.
Perfect.
Right, impactful career sector, and we're also just focusing on women, right? Because that is Amanda's niche. She helps women to develop their confidence and gain the career dreams that they deserve. Yes?
That's perfect.
Welcome to the
Exactly.
Groundbreaker podcast series.
Thank you so much for having me.
Could you just give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Definitely.
Right.
So, my name is Amanda Armstrong. I am a social impact entrepreneur. So, everything I do is about making a positive impact in the world. I'm a career coach, a motivational speaker, and a consultant. And my passion and my life purpose is to help women get the best job opportunities.
From the brief you've given us on your background, one would usually want to work within an impact organization to help women in the villages or various communities, but you're focusing on careers. Could you tell me about that passion and what inspired it?
I think very early on in university, I was struggling to find a summer job. And shortly after graduating from university, I was then struggling to find a full time job.
Right.
And while I was lucky that my business school did provide a lot of career resources, it felt like universities and colleges were not properly preparing young people for the job search. They were not teaching young people how to be wildly successful with your job search, how to land opportunities. They weren't really coaching us or mentoring us on how to figure out what you're passionate about, what you want to do with your career, how to negotiate your salary. So I never had a mentor. I never had a career coach. I never had a big sister. I never had anyone really like cheering me on or helping me figure out my career and navigate my career. So after figuring that out on my own and figuring out how to land amazing dream job opportunities, how to secure amazing interviews and get these great, fantastic jobs, that's when I basically became the person I wish I had when I was younger. And one thing I noticed was I had a lot of contracts because working in the nonprofit NGO sector, sometimes it's a lot of contracts, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, funding runs out, the program comes to an end. So I had to go through the job search in my 20s over and over and over again, while a lot of my classmates and peers would be working at a bank for 3 years, 5 years, right? So I had to go through the job search so many times. The other thing I realized was that people were not actually happy in their jobs. People were not passionate about their work. People were not making a positive impact in the world. They were working at a bank, working at a corporation, or doing things that were not positively impacting the world. And from a very young age, I was in these jobs that I truly loved, that made me happy and fulfilled. I sacrificed money in my early years throughout my 20s, but I was doing what I love. I was doing what I was passionate about. I was very happy. And so that's when I realized I wanted to do career coaching full time. There's millions of people all over the world struggling to get a job.
Can you tell me about you veering off towards impact direction rather than the general direction where you could actually help everyone else?
So making an impact in the world is such a pivotal part of my everyday life that I only want and desire to work with women who align with my values. And those are women and people who are dedicated to building careers and lives with positive impact in the world. So, for example, if someone wants to work at, let's say, a tobacco company, an alcohol company, gambling tech startup, that just doesn't really align with my values.
Yeah.
Any kind of company that is using plastic in their packaging, creating waste. So the fashion industry creates a tremendous amount of waste that obviously ends up all over Kenya and the African continent, unfortunately. The second thing is my entire life and career and every job I've had is related to impact. So I have, that's my track record of success. That's my
Your
experience.
familiar territory.
If someone wants to get a job, let's say they want to get a corporate job at PwC, EY, Deloitte, Google, Uber, that's great, but that's not my track record of success. I would recommend them to another coach who has a track record of success in corporations or in big tech.
So, how about the people you work with? How have you achieved traction in bringing women to realize that they need your help? How do you go about that?
It's pretty easy sell.
Okay.
All I say is I help women get the best job offers, and
Yeah.
that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
It's a high demand
Okay.
business right now because who wouldn't want a better job? But it's hard because a lot of the women I meet with are unemployed. So financially, it's hard to make a big investment in something like career coaching because I'm not an NGO. I'm not a charity. I don't get funding from donors or from the government. I'm a a business. I have to also pay my rent and pay my bills. So just like a therapist, just like any other small business. So that's the harder challenge is not being able to work with everyone just because they might be unemployed and not have the financial means. But it's a very high demand business, and I'm currently working on putting out more affordable resources to be able to impact more women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So let's talk about your process of helping these women. Someone approaches you, then how do you go about helping a person from when they approach you to when they finally get the jobs they
Yes,
deserve? Yeah.
yes. Okay, so everyone I offer a free career coaching session, a complimentary career chat. So that's my way of making an impact on as many women as possible. So that's the starting point. We have a 30-minute chat where I give them as much value, tips, tricks, inspiration, and motivation as I possibly can, along with job search resources. Then for the women who invest in the career coaching program that I have to offer. It's a step-by-step program guiding them through the job search from start to finish.
Yeah.
So we first get clear on their goals and their unique value. Why should someone hire them? What makes them different from everyone else? What are their unique skills and strengths and their track record of success? Once we know those two things, we update their CV and cover letter, make sure they have a strong, powerful application that stands out and gets them interviews. We also update their LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn profile is like your digital CV, one of the most important things today. I teach them about networking, how to reach out to CEOs, founders, hiring managers, HR teams on LinkedIn, by email, with strong, powerful messages that get them meetings with the right people. And then we do interview prep, and the final step is we negotiate their job offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from what you've just said previously means that getting a job is more than a resume. Can we just highlight on that a little bit?
There's so much strategy. There's so many little bits and pieces that because think about it this way, when someone applies to a job, they're competing with 200, 300, 500, sometimes 800 other people.
Right.
And you have to come out as number one out of 500, 800 people. I had a client in Costa Rica. She applied to a job with 780 applicants, and she got it into the top 10. I had another client in Canada, 600 applicants, and she got the job offer. So in order to be 1 out of 600 or 10 out of 780, every aspect of your application, your emails, your interview needs to just be very high quality.
Interesting. I think I need to see you as well.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So, from what you've just said again, a number of people don't even get shortlisted. And
Yeah.
it must be because of the tiny details that you're mentioning, like even the the detail. What do you call them? Punctuations,
Yes.
for instance. And
Yes.
you've just mentioned the page borders.
Yes.
Those details all matters
Yes.
when you're applying for a job.
100%. All those details and keywords. To give you an example, I have a lot of clients applying to women's organizations,
Yeah.
right? If you're applying to a women's organization and there's 500 applicants, if you don't have, the word women throughout your CV, throughout your cover letter, throughout your LinkedIn profile, there's no way you can compete with other people who have women all over their application, right? So it's really important whether you're going after a digital marketing job, a tech startup, a women's organization, a health tech, whatever you're going after, those keywords are really crucial. But there's another component as well. Not only having the common keywords, but also having words that are unique and different and make you stand out. Because I look at hundreds of resumes and CVs every year. A lot of resumes and CVs, they all look the same. They all use very standard generic words. So in the NGO world, a lot of people use the word project management, stakeholder engagement, like just very common words that everyone else is using. But if you used a different word, let's say creative or innovative or results oriented or people facing or strong relationship building skills. If you just use slightly different words to describe yourself, that will now make you stand out. So there's a balance of having those keywords while also having unique words that are different from everyone else and make you stand out. So I had an amazing client here in Kenya. And one way she described herself was an altruistic champion of people. I had never seen anyone else use those words before.
Yeah.
So automatically I was like, of course she's going to get incredible opportunities because she has this strong, powerful description that no one else has.
And when you're doing all this, does education matter? When do they consider education? Because most of these applications, they indicate the levels that they want. Some of us go on to apply even though we know we're not at those levels, but we got the skills. Can we talk about that?
Such a good question.
Yeah.
Because the beliefs around education in Kenya and the African continent are extremely different around the value of education in the West. So I want to talk about that. But the first thing to note is no one is perfect. No one checks every single box. If you see a job that you are passionate about and you're like, yes, I have those skills and I have that experience and I can do this and I do want to do this, I think you should shoot your shot. Go for it. Because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
And no one is perfect and no one checks every box. If it says master's degree, an asset, that doesn't mean it's required. That doesn't mean it's mandatory. It says it's an asset. I don't have a master's degree, but I'm definitely going to apply to that job, right? But if it says master's degree is mandatory, is required, and you apply and you don't have a master's degree, they might automatically just filter you out, right?
Yeah.
Now, back to the education. In the West, having a master's degree is just not what people are looking for these days.
Okay.
People are looking for skills. People are looking for your track record of success. What have you accomplished? What have you done?
Right.
And experiences, right? People in the West rarely care about education anymore. People will hire you if you... I worked in tech sales. One of my colleagues who was a top sales rep with me was a high school dropout. Another one was a chef. He worked in a kitchen.
Wow.
And the third one was a recent graduate fresh out of university. And the four of us were top sales reps. So none of us had master's degrees. That's not what tech sales companies, tech companies in the West hiring sales professionals, you don't need a master's degree to be successful in sales. So there's a lot of jobs that you don't, master's degrees in education are now becoming less and less valuable, especially in the West. People are looking for skills. People are looking for what have you accomplished, what have you done, not what school you went to. There are some organizations, like I know the UN, that I think for almost all of their jobs or most jobs require a master's degree.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I work with a lot of incredible women here in Kenya and across the continent that have extremely high levels of education, master's degrees, PhD. They're competing with everyone else with a master's degree.
Yeah.
So having a master's degree can be beneficial. It could be a requirement. It can be valuable and important. But there's two key things. Number one is how you present the master's degree, right? Some people put it at the very bottom of their CV. I'm like,
You should put it.
you paid all that money and spent all that time and you put it at the bottom of the CV. It should be at the top,
At the
right?
top, yeah.
And then also if you're competing with, let's say, 100, 200 other people with master's degrees, then you still need to tell me why I should pick you over the 200 other people with master's degrees.
Right.
Yeah. Now, one last thing on the education. Let's say you're here in Kenya or anywhere in the continent and you don't have a high school diploma and you didn't finish college or university. That's perfectly fine in my eyes. What I would encourage you to do is focus on networking, focus on meeting with CEOs and founders and business owners and talking to them directly one-on-one rather than going through the traditional application process, right? And rather than going to traditional companies. For example, myself as a business owner, when I'm hiring here in Kenya, I don't care where someone went to school. I don't even care if they finished school. I don't even care if they got a degree or diploma.
Okay.
There's other things that are important to me. So you can still be wildly successful in your career and your job search without an education.
Right.
But you're going to have to go after the CEOs and the business owners and the hiring managers that don't care that you didn't go to college or university, the non-traditional organizations.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So let's talk about the lessons that you've learned from coaching, from coaching women.
Yes.
Yes.
Whew, lessons I've learned about myself or about business or about the job search.
Mostly about business and of course the
Okay.
job search.
Okay.
Right.
I think one of the greatest lessons I've learned is to, as a business owner and entrepreneur, is to really stick to working exclusively with your dream client, your dream customer. Because when you work with people who align with your values, people who need what you have to offer, people who want what you have to offer, and people who are your biggest fans, that's when your business will thrive. So the women I work with are my biggest fans. They love my work. They respect my work. They appreciate my work. And the more I work with women like that, the more my business just grows and grows. I had a couple people who were outside my dream client. So I worked with a woman back in Toronto in Canada, and she was looking for a bank in the corporate sector.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't care about making an impact in the world. She wanted money. That's what she wanted. And I had a bad experience. I had a bad experience with her. So I realized I'm not working with people in the corporate world anymore, because those typically end up being my worst clients. Yeah.
Right. Great, and great lessons there. Hmm? So what's your geographical landscape?
Yes.
You mentioned Bangkok earlier, if I'm not wrong. Did you?
I work with women all over the world.
Right.
Probably, I don't know how many countries, 30 plus, 40 plus countries now. I have a lot of clients in Canada, of course, just being from Canada. But I have a ton of clients here in Kenya, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Uganda. I have clients in India, Colombia, Costa Rica. The US, of course, is a big market for me as well, Europe. So I work with women all over the world. And I love that. I love that about my job. I love working with women all over the world.
Great. And how have you achieved that? Is it because we are on a digital age, or how are you able to reach women across the world?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the number one place to be for myself as a career coach and for job seekers and
Right.
professionals. LinkedIn is the absolute best social media platform, in my opinion, because it's safe. There's not a lot of
Scam.
scams, spam,
Yeah.
harassment and negativity.
Yeah.
The people I have on LinkedIn are everyone's helping each other. Everyone's sharing
Yeah.
jobs. Everyone's sharing inspiration. Everyone's
LinkedIn
sharing.
means business, in other words.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight
Yeah.
to business.
And not corporate business, but
Mm.
just professional, whether you're creative, whether you're a nonprofit professional, whether you're a communications professional. You can find everyone. But LinkedIn is the number one place to be, and
Yeah.
the number one place to network and to find jobs.
Right. Your background goes 15 years back.
Yes.
And now, what's your dream, future dreams for her dream career? Yeah.
I want to expand my impact through more affordable career coaching resources. So that's what I'm working on, through different digital products and videos and resources that are at lower price points to, again, impact more women around the world. I also want to do more speaking engagements and launch a podcast next year.
Ooh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
That would actually be very nice,
Thank
because
you.
you'll be able to reach people not only because they come to you, but because you're feeding them content. Yeah.
And almost all of my guests, pretty much every guest, will be women who have built successful careers with impact. So a lot of professionals in, again, the NGO sector, nonprofit sector, social impact entrepreneurs like myself, but women who can, with 5, 10, 15, 20 years of experience, who can then tell other women around the world how to get the best job opportunities, how to get the best salaries, how to advance in your careers, how to network.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Well then, any last words?
I just think the thing I tell everyone, which is the opposite of what some other people say to do with your career, is I personally always tell people to follow your passion and do what you love, because I think that's when the magic happens. That's when you can make a greater impact in the world, and you're happier and you're healthier and you can make the most money. So some people are like, "Oh, don't follow your passion. You can't build a successful career around photography or around art or around dance." And I say the opposite. I'm like, 100% go after the best jobs out there, follow your dreams, follow your passion, do what you love. You only live once. So you might as well go do something that you're going to enjoy every single day.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a great advice, great business advice, a great career advice.
Exactly.
Well, that wraps it up
Thank
for
you.
us, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, great insights there, Amanda. Thank you so much for joining us on the Groundbreaker podcast series. We've learned so much from your insights into what you do with her dream career. And that is what wraps up the Groundbreaker podcast series this week. Do catch us next time as we bring you more and more of startup stories. My name is Awu Odongo. Until next time, bye bye.